across the lawn.
Good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, December 6th. It is 4:30 PM, and this is the New Ulm City Council meeting. President Becker is at a training, will not be here today. So let's move right into our agenda. It's very short today. So we first have our consent agenda items. And counselors, your wishes.
I'll offer a motion to approve.
Second?
A motion and a second. Anybody want to talk about any one of these?
Actually, I do one. We do an appointment like that for the fire department. The first assistant chief will remain Aaron Wilford. Second assistant is Melissa Vissner, and the fire marshal being Trent Zabel. That's it.
Great, thank you. Anybody else? All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item number 2, gravel pit license. Approve the renewal of the gravel pit license for M&R paving for the 2023 calendar year.
Any comments from the city engineer this year? I remember we went through issues last year.
Yeah, Mr. Vice Chair and City Councilors, the renewal this year is only for the Walner Pit. So as you recall, in the past, there was concerns with the Holla gravel pit.
Right.
And that has since, operations have ceased, and they are in the reclamation phase. So mining has ceased on that permit where there were some concerns in the past. So with this permit, there have not been any concerns of note.
It's good to know.
All right, well, I'll make a motion to approve the renewal of the gravel pit license for M&R Paving and Excavating, Inc. for the period beginning January 1, 2023 and ending December 31st, 2023.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I do.
Man,
Joe,
Terry.
any prognostication on the Walner Sand Pit's life as the town is growing up that way?
Many years, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, 20 plus probably, yeah. It really depends on projects and the amount of sand they need to use and things of that nature.
But there has been talks.
Yeah, very long term, yeah.
I've got a question in regards, because being we've got North Highland on for paving.
Yep.
For 2023 for a project, and that's the entry and exit to the pit.
Yep.
Now, is the road built up heavier there, because it takes a lot of abuse for all the
Yeah,
hauling
that-
out of there?
the
Is
road
it
has a-
thicker than a normal?
Correct, yep, yep. Yeah, when North Highland was originally built, it's got a thicker section, and
Okay.
all we're doing with that project is a mill and overlay leveling and stuff like that. So, yeah, the road's adequate in structure to support that. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and MR is aware of the upcoming project, so they can adjust their operations as needed, so.
Okay.
Anything else? No? Okay, all those in approval for the M&R paving and excavating license for 2023 calendar years, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Item number 2.2, transfer the tobacco license for Morak Tobacco, who wants to move to another location for 6 months, or the license approval for 6 months.
Motion to approve the transfer of the tobacco license for Marco Tobacco Incorporating, doing business as Smokes Plus, to a new location at 1702 Westridge Road, Unit 48, for the period beginning January 1, 2023 and ending June 30th, 2023, subject to compliance with all city and state requirements.
Second.
So motion and second. Any discussion on this item? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to item number 2.3, raffles gambling permit for the New Ulm area Catholic schools.
Make a motion to approve the issuance of the lawful gambling permit for the New Ulm area Catholic schools to conduct bingo, pull tabs, and raffle gambling at Inspire Wedding and Events at 126 North Minnesota Street on Friday, January 20th, 2023.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those not in favor? Motion carries. Moving on to item new business 3.1, attendance at the 2023 National League of Cities Congressional City Conference for the city manager.
Guess he's not here to ask him any questions or anything, but I'm fine. We've encouraged him in the past to get training and things.
Yeah, we've been
so-
asking him to get
in
training.
capacities, so I'm going to offer a motion to approve the city manager to attend the annual 2023 National Leagues of Cities Congressional City Conference in Washington, D.C. from March 24th through the 28th, 2023.
Second.
Motion second. Any other questions? No, I've been to this conference. It's excellent, and you walk out of there learning a lot of information. And there's like 4,000 people that attend this conference. It's huge, 4,000 to 5,000. That's why they usually pick some pretty large cities so they can accommodate everybody. All right, not hearing any other questions. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to number 3.2, City Attorney Legal Services Rate Increase for 2023.
This is something Chris has been discussing with them. I'm not sure where it's at or how it compares exactly to what we have right now, but it's a slight change in the way they apply the fees.
I know we have Mr. Scott on the phone. Any comments you want to make?
Sure. Thank you, Council. I will just explain that the rates are generally increasing by about $15 each year. As a firm, we have to evaluate, obviously, like everybody else. Our costs are increasing. We need to make sure that we're keeping a good staff on hand. So that would be the rates that we have established. New Ulm, as a CGMC member city, qualifies for our lowest municipal rates, and that would be the standard across all our city attorney clients. I would note also the criminal retainer was a slight increase. I don't have in front of me what the per month rate was. I could certainly find that quickly. But that was developed now that we've had about 6 or 7 months with the criminal prosecution services. We've gotten the handle, I think, on how we can most efficiently deliver those services. I'll tell you the amount that our firm was incurring just in the first few months as we kind of jumped into things and worked through a bit of a, I don't say a backlog, but just developed our practices to become as efficient as we can. We were considerably above that figure, but we have looked at things and tried to figure out how we can best work with the court to provide the service most efficiently. And I think that's a number that we're comfortable with moving forward. So I certainly welcome any further questions, but that's the process we go through to try and develop those figures.
Mr. Scott, how has it been? How do we compare to some of the other cities as far as the amount of work we throw at you? Are we pretty comparable? Are we up, a little higher, a little lower?
I guess I've got about 7 months experience to kind of weigh in, and I think it was a fairly heavy workload, especially the first maybe 3-4 months. I've obviously been in contact with City Manager Dalton throughout, and I think we've both kind of accepted that there was maybe some projects that have been waiting for the new city attorney to start that we jumped into right away. And we did develop a bit of a list, and I think our response time was slowed as we had to work through some of that. But having said all that, I am actually feeling within the last month or two that we are just about up to speed with everything, just about caught up. And we seem to be settling into a new normal where I think the workload would be right about in line with what I would expect for a city of this size.
Okay.
So it was heavier at the beginning, but I think we've kind of worked through a bit of a backlog, and I think we're kind of caught up, and I think we're in a good place at this point.
Well, there might be a couple other projects we're waiting on, but they're coming. I'll just speak on my behalf. I wasn't really excited about this setup, when we first started, because I'd been for many years with the system of having the local city attorney sitting right on our table here and telling us when he thought we were maybe going the wrong direction. And so I was a little worried about how this was all going to work. But I have to say, I'm very pleasantly surprised, Robert, just having you available through Zoom. But what I also didn't really realize as much is because you do sit on multiple councils, you have that education and knowledge of what are the other cities doing about this topic or that topic. And that part, I think, really, a lot of us didn't really realize was going to be that beneficial. So I've been very pleasantly surprised, and I've heard nothing in the corrections area or legal area with regard to your counterpart with, the criminal division. So I certainly support this.
Yep. And I would agree completely with Councilor Schultz about the Zoom chat, that I didn't know how this was going to work, but it's been amazing. I mean, the answers you guys are able to give on the fly, for the most part, or at least get the information to us within the next 2 weeks, it's been very nice. So I appreciate the work you guys do. Anyone else have anything to say? Otherwise,
I think, I've appreciated the diversity, I guess, of it because, he brings another perspective and, not that Roger, he had his ways of doing it, but it's just another angle to look at different tasks that had to be addressed, and it complements, so.
I agree with the other three counselors, not much to be said after that.
you know,
I'll approve Flattery and Hood, PA City Attorney Legal Services hourly rate schedule for the calendar year 2023 and the monthly retainer for criminal prosecution services at $7,917 per month effective January 1, 2023.
second.
Motion is second. Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 3.3, designate 2023 election polling places.
Counselors, this is an annual item that we're required to do regardless of whether or not there's a scheduled election in the coming year. So we've contacted all of the places where we held elections this year, and they were all more than happy to welcome us back in the future. So it's just
Awesome.
keeping the same places.
These are all the same, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have to pay rent for these places?
No.
Or no
No.
compensation? It's just
Use.
that's good.
They get
Yeah,
the
it's
leftover
all-
cookies or anything?
We offer to leave all that behind, so.
With that, I'll offer a resolution, waive the reading, designating the 2023 election polling places to be Redeemer Lutheran Church for Ward 1, New Ulm Community Center for Ward 2, Christ the King Lutheran Church for Ward 3, and Our Savior's Lutheran Church for Ward 4.
Got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any other comments? None. Nicole, would you please call the roll?
Counselor Mack,
Yes.
Counselor Christian.
Yes.
And Counselor Schultz.
Yes, motion carries.
Oh, and Did I get
Oh,
everybody?
nope.
I missed
I think we
Warmka.
missed one.
Sorry, I was thinking,
As well.
I was
Motion
thinking two
carries.
people are gone, so I only have to call three, but.
Item 3.4, fire department donation.
The resolution waive the reading to accept the donation of $263.20 from Pizza Ranch for Community Impact Night.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Great donation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, sorry, resolution.
resolution.
Nicole, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack,
Yes.
Counselor Christian,
Yes.
Counselor Warmka,
Yes.
and Counselor Schultz.
Yes, motion carries. Moving on to item 3.5, police department donation.
Oh, should I drag this out, Counselor Schultz?
Yes, please.
I'll offer the resolution and waive the reading to accept a
more
monetary donation in the amount of $300 from Helping Minnesota Heroes to be used to support Shop with a Hero program, which I was really happy to see they got some good press the other day.
Yes, motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any other comments? Mr. Barstad, were you part of that this year? You're not? Okay. Looked like it went over very well. All right, Nicole, would you please call the roll?
Counselor Mack,
Yes.
Counselor Christian.
Yes.
Counselor Warmka.
Yes.
And Counselor Schultz.
Yes, motion carries. Last item on the list, approve claims and the estimates.
Make a motion to accept the list of claims paid in the amount of $8,712,839.54.
Motion and second. Any comments on any items? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. That being our last item of our city council meeting tonight, we will adjourn. We will be back for 6 PM tonight for the Truth and Taxation meeting, and we will be live. So come on down.